Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am not doing so well, but this is Ready to Love, season 9, episode. I believe we might be on episode 4 already. Y'all, let me tell you. Y'all know how I am about some food. I had a hankering for shrimp fried rice. I went and picked me up some shrimp fried rice, and I don't know who they had in the kitchen this evening, because I normally get my shrimp fried rice in the afternoon. But when I tell you it was burnt, it was burnt. And they forgot the soy sauce, or they forgot some type of important ingredient because it don't taste right, on top of it being a smidge burnt. So I'm irritated. And I'm already back and settled in, and I got to go to work tonight. I'm not going back out to get no more shrimp fried rice. So yeah, I'm pissed off about my food, but y'all don't care about none of that. A little bit of housekeeping. I did want to let y'all know. I put on my community wall that I was going to review the 2 interviews, the one that Mel did with Carlos and the one that Martell did with Tasha K. Y'all, I can't. It has been so much going on with the 2 of them. I honestly don't know what to think anymore. Martell was so annoying in that interview. The way that Martell speaks annoys me. He stutters through everything. He can't get his words out. He always mumbly jumbly. But I'm going to tell y'all go listen to Carlos and Mel interview, because when Mel was talking about that orgasm she finally had, I was truly happy for sis. I mean, truly happy for her as somebody who struggles in that realm. I was really happy for Mel. Like, I really was. But she's not with the guy because she was like, hey, if the finance is not right, we not finna do nothing. I said, good job, Mel. Don't let him get you digmatized. But anyway, y'all can go watch both of them, because Martell, I can't. And now so much has gone on that I wouldn't even feel comfortable talking about either one of the interviews, because I already know the fans are going to be like, but what about this? And what about what happened last week? See, now you talking about this, like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to play it any type of fair like I try to do. So yeah, but I got some other videos that I want to work on when it comes to the Love and Marriage Huntsville franchise and characters. So that'll be coming sometime this year. I don't know when, but that's some other stuff that I'm working on in the background. But for now, let's talk about Ready to Love. The ladies meet up with everybody's favorite nephew Tyler Perry, to learn what their assignment is going to be this week. One of the gentlemen will be going home. Also, he throws in a curveball. He wants the ladies to get more intimate this week. Normally he waits, but he wants them to get more involved this week. I don't know why nephew Tyler Perry is acting like that's something new that he does. He always tell him to do this. What, he gonna do it on episode 4 instead of episode 5? We do this all the time. At first I thought we were gonna move straight into the house party where they spend the night, but no. Then he suggests to them, y'all take them to your favorite places. Let them come to your home. You go to their home. Oh, no. We chilling in houses already. You know what that lead to now, nephew Tyler Perry. That usually lead to sex. But good thing it's group dates for the most part, when the camera's going to be there. So hopefully ain't no clothes coming off. We also have a new member joining us. That's right, y'all. We got a new gentleman. He comes in. His name is Justin. I forgot what Justin does for a living, but I do remember that he is 34 years old. Justin does not have any children. He has been in Dallas for 20 some odd years, so he's pretty much a resident at this point, not a transplant. Once you've been there for a certain amount of time, you might as well say you're home. But he is originally from Mississippi, and he is glad to be joining the process. So I was like, all right, okay, so we got Justin, y'all. What y'all thought about Justin? Y'all, I'm so upset about my shrimp fried rice. Like, I really am. Y'all just don't understand how I had my mouth ready. Oh, you know what? I'm about to make me a cup of coffee. I think I will feel better once the caffeine hit my body. It's not going to feel the same as the shrimp fried rice hitting my stomach, but I'm going to feel a little better. So y'all, hold on. All right. We are back. Now, where was I? Now, I know y'all probably looking forward to some of my coffee antics, but it's not going to hit immediately. I'm probably going to be done by the time it hit. All right. So, where were we? Okay, so Rashina, Lamar, William, and Will are all going on a group date. Alexis has invited them to play a little basketball because this is something she's into. She's very sporty. She loves basketball, and she wants to invite them in on that part of her life. So Rashina, I don't know if nobody told my girl, Rashina show up real cute in her little orange set. She was still out there playing though. She wasn't acting like she was too good. You know, wig was stay. I said, what kind of wig is that? That wig was just bouncing and behaving all over the court. She was shooting up all kind of layups. None of them was going in, but it was giving pass the ball to Will. Do y'all remember old Fresh Prince when Carlton and Will made the basketball team and the coach would be like, okay, what do? We pass the ball to Will. That's what Rashina and Will were doing out on the court. Or was that Will Young? I believe that's Will Young. So anyway, Alexis does end up asking William about one of his most important relationships. He talks about his marriage and says that he got married for all the wrong reasons and he made a lot of mistakes, and he believes that people should be given that room to grow and learn from his mistakes, to which Alexis does agree. Now, later when she talks to Will and Lamar, she asks them, what does intimacy look like for them? Well, Will says intimacy starts for him in his relationship with God. Before he even thinks about getting intimate with a woman or think about any of that, it has to start with God first. He has to be in an intimate relationship with him first, which was a good answer. But I wanted Will to expound upon that a little bit more, because when I hear someone say that intimacy starts for them with their creator, especially if they're talking in a religious aspect, because he did bring up God, I would think that either A, when they discuss intimacy, they are not thinking about sex. They're more so thinking about personal and quality time. Or B, they may also be thinking about sex, but for them, sex doesn't begin until sex is considered honorable before God, which would mean they might be possibly waiting for marriage. So I would want him to expound upon that a little bit more, because if he's talking about his intimate relationship has to be right with God first before he gets physical with a woman, then is he talking about marriage, or is he just saying I got to give God his time first before I ever even think about giving a woman some intimate time? I would like to know. I would like to know more. Then Lamar's answer, y'all already know what Lamar's answer centered around. It talked about the physical. He talked about his intimacy. I can't get my words together. His intimacy being more on the physical side. You know, he liked to set it up. He might send that text at work. What color drawers you got on? You know, might do some kissing, might do a little aggressive talk. And Alexis was just like, oh, okay. You know, she just was going with it. But you could tell in her mind, she was just thinking that is not what anybody meant. But okay, if that's your version of intimacy, that is definitely Lamar's version of intimacy. And he ain't wavering from it. Okay, so then Rashina talks to Will as well as Lamar, and again Lamar somehow turns the conversation somewhat sexual, because Rashina makes mention that all of her relationships are 3+, and they both was kind of looking like, wait, what a minute. You know, Lamar was getting excited and she was like, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm talking about 3 years plus. They, you gotta let me know. Cause I was thinking you was talking about a threesome. You know what I'm saying? No, Lamar, nobody was talking about a threesome. Will wants to know who you gonna be choosing. Like, you know, if you had to pick between the two of us. And she was like, I don't really know. Neither one of y'all right now, because I ain't really seen nothing where I would get to choosing. And Will was like, you automatically choosing me because you met me first. So they have a good chuckle about that. It's really nothing, but Rashina lets us know in her confessionals that she's not really feeling a spark with either one of the gentlemen right now. So that was the end of that. All right, so Justin and Rashina decide to go out on a date. Rashina heard that they both have dogs, so they are going to go on like a fur baby type of date. So They get out there, and as soon as Justin said that her dog was well behaved, y'all, these was famous last words. Because when I tell you, y'all, I felt so bad for Justin, but I was over here cracking up. His dog showed the hell out at that park. He was running around. It was a girl. She was running around. She was chasing stuff. She wasn't listening to Justin. Justin, I knew he didn't have no kids before he told us he didn't have no kids. Justin don't have no kind of authority in his voice. He don't know how to calm the dog down. He just like, hey. Okay, don't go over there. I said, ooh, Lord. Not only do he not got no kids, he got nieces. And I bet you they run all over him. You could just tell. He ain't got no bass in his throat. When you get nephews, you get a different type of bass in your throat. See, my first of the niece and nephew gang, my first was nephews. I had nephews way before I ever had nieces, years before I had nieces. And baby, you got to get some bass in your voice when you dealing with them nephews. Justin don't got nothing going on. That dog, is that even your dog, Justin? Because that dog wasn't listening to you. Did you borrow that dog for the date? Anyway, y'all, they was able to reel it back in, and they were able to sit down and have a conversation. Justin does tell Rashina he is 34. He doesn't have any children. And Rashina was like, well, I got 2 and they're older. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about being with a woman who already has children? And she is, I want to say, a couple years older than him as well. Justin said he doesn't mind. He's made peace with the fact that he may not have children, especially being 34 years old. I might not get to do that. I'm okay with somebody who already has children. The biggest thing for me, I want to meet somebody who accepts me for who I am. And what are you looking for? Rashina says she is looking for a protector, a leader, and somebody who can be vulnerable with her. I want you to have my back, and I want to have your back. And Justin is like, yeah, that's perfect. That describes like exactly what type of woman I'm looking for. He's happy to be a part of this process, although he's nervous because he has been longing for something in his heart for so long, and he felt really calm around her. He says he felt reassured around her, and he wants to go out with Rashina again. So I thought their date was nice. Rashina does end up saying she likes him a lot and sees a connection with him. I do have a feeling, though, that Justin is going to end up making connections with a couple of the other women, and he's going to be one of those ones at the end that's going to have a hard time making a final decision. It's just something about him where I'm getting that. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, I think he ready to be in love, and it might get him caught up. So Laylin meets with nephew Tyler Perry because she wants to make him aware of some personal things that she's going through with family. And although she wants to be involved in the process, she needs some advice because she's not really sure what she's going to do. And nephew Tyler Perry says that he understands family problems and all of this. And so he is going to give her a week off because he wants her to be able to focus on that, but still be a part of the process. And I know Laylin was thinking to herself, damn, I was hoping you was going to send me home. I don't want to be here no more. But spoiler alert, Laylin is going to end up going home due to her family issues. I guess I believe her, but I also think the man that Laylin wants, especially the man that she wrote down on that piece of paper that she keep in her pocket, I don't believe he there anyway. And it wouldn't surprise me if sis peep game early and said, I'm going to go ahead and exit stage left like bruh man who didn't even make it out here. But yeah, she met up with him to discuss that. All right, now it's time for a group date at the house. If anybody was going to have a group date at the house, it was going to be one of the men. Y'all know, anytime they could get a little house action going on. But okay, let me not get on them. Let me not start my foolishness. Everybody's meeting over at Chaz's house. By everybody, I mean Vanessa, Koshia, of course, Chaz, Alonzo, and Patrice. I was trying to zoom in on these drinks they got on the table. I do see some Ciroc, which... ew, no disrespect to y'all who still, y'all can drink vodka at 30 plus. I can't drink vodka no more. Vodka gets me hot. I might start sweating under my armpits. I might get angry. I can't be drinking no vodka no more. Those were my college years. And then I got Ciroc on special occasions. The dudes with money, some of the football team, they would bring the Ciroc. And then after that, y'all, I had to leave that vodka alone. When I meet grown people who can still drink vodka, I'm like, wow, look at you. A living legend. All right. So anyway, we all at Chaz's house, and Alonzo takes, I done closed out my notes, y'all. Alonzo takes Koshia to the side. I'm going off the top of my head right now until I open them back up. Takes Koshia to the side to discuss the misunderstanding that they had, which wasn't really a misunderstanding. Alonzo, baby, you was just wrong. You was wrong. There's no other way to take which one choked or spanked? It's only one way to take that. He talking about, I'm sorry if you misunderstood what I was saying. Koshia kind of just paid the whole thing and was like, you know what? I think both of us just wanted to be right. And, I guess. But whatever, Alonzo. There's only one way to take that. Then there's a ring at the door. Chaz looking around like, who's that? Y'all, why Justin walk in? And have him and Koshia already went out or something? Why did Koshia run up to him like that? I mean, she really did like a little short sprint up to that door to go give him a hug, to the point where I was just like, did she know he was coming? But it turns out, y'all, Patrice invited Justin to somebody else's house. And I said, girl, the men is better than me. They better than me, because I probably would have been like, you and your guests can leave, because plus ones are not plus oneing. Shout out to Evelyn's Losada. But Chaz played it cool. Y'all could tell that the men were sizing each other up, specifically Chaz and Justin. And Justin said he from Mississippi, and his grandfather used to be the mayor of Williston or something like that. And Chaz was like, why you lead with that? And he said, what? Why you lead with that? He was like, I was just letting you know who I was. He said, oh, you had to let us know you was Mississippi royalty. So they kind of talking junk to each other. Chaz talk about, not Chaz, Justin talk about he gonna let Chaz have it. He could tell he was sizing him up, but he gonna let him have it. You ain't got no choice. You sitting up in his house. You better let him have it. Get your ass put out. So then they start playing some dominoes, and it's a bunch of mess when you playing dominoes. Then a couple of side conversations happened. Patrice and Alonzo, y'all, I don't know what they was talking about. They was laughing. He said something about a movie called Voyeurs, and Patrice like Alonzo. That's all I got. Vanessa and Chaz, though, y'all, they had a little moment, the two of them, where they got together on the couch. I thought we was going to see some smooches, but we didn't see no smooches, just little kisses on the hand. But I don't know what happened when them cameras went off. They got up under them blankets. I said, ooh, it's looking cozy, looking real good. I would have fell asleep myself. It don't take much for me. But they both talk about how much they like each other and how they feel they can be vulnerable with each other. Vulnerability is the word for this season. Y'all know every season is words. One season it was vibes. One season it was the connection. One season it was about the process. One season it was purpose. And I think this season is going to be vulnerability. But they like that they can be vulnerable with each other and let their guards down. So they had a cute little moment, Okay, Chaz. All right. Got a little after party activity going on. So Maya invites Lamar to a photo shoot so he can see how she does it with things pertaining to her brand. She got on a waist trainer the whole time they talking. I really want her to take that off, but that's a part of her brand, y'all. She getting a little free advertisement off her own network. I don't blame you, girl. But they sit down to talk, and she asks him about his type, or does he just like beautiful women, period, which is not a strange question. I do ask men about their type early, because if you about to try something new, baby, don't try it with me. So he say he like beautiful women, period. If you put the women down that he done talked to, none of them would look alike. So, okay, cool. When he tries to kind of counter with the same question, she was like, oh, I'm not really a physical person. Like, that part is important. Of course, I want to be physically attracted to you. But after the attraction wears off, it's more about how we get along, how we relate to each other, if you're emotionally expressive, if you're open, if you're mature, and if I'm attracted to you mentally. Lamar says he is a physical person all the way. We didn't even know that, Lamar. I couldn't have guessed that about you, baby. But he said that he's been in situations with more than one woman. That's his thing. He's very physical. And Maya's just like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're used to dealing with a woman that's really experienced and really out there sexually, is a regular experience going to be enough for you? Lamar really doesn't answer the question directly, but he answered the question. He was just like, listen, it's your job to figure out what I like. If you can't do it, you might have to get a blow up doll. He going on, and she's just like, you know what? That's all right. I don't think me and Lamar gonna be the one. And then when it's time for him to get more personal with her and ask her some questions, he asks her, what's the freakiest thing that you've done in high school? Y'all, I don't even know what to do with Lamar at this point. And let me explain something to you about Lamar. Lamar is doing what he came on to Ready to Love to do. He didn't come on the show to find a woman. He came onto the show to let all the other women out there know that he was a freak. And I think that he has pretty much done that. I think we are all pretty much clear. And it's not even a problem. Lamar being freaky or sexual or whatever is not an issue. There's just a time and a place for Lamar to be able to do that. And it's not Ready to Love. I don't even like when people go with the whole, oh, we should be able to, and people shouldn't be so closed-minded and closed off about their sexuality. I don't disagree. Okay, I'm not arguing one side or the other, but what I am saying, come into this show, and I'm going to throw Alonzo in there with Lamar, although he's not as overtly sexual. Come into this show and wanting to show more of your kinkier or freaky side and expecting everybody to be accepting of it that's really on you. I felt the same way when the dude that was a dom came. I felt the exact same way. You can have your sexual proclivities. You can let your freak flag fly. But there is a time and a place, and there are atmospheres for you to do that in. They got whole websites for people who like to get real kinky. They got everything that you could imagine. There is somebody who is into what you are into. Trust me. And then y'all in Dallas too. All I'm saying is there are places that exist for the freaks of the world. There are places for you. There are homes for you. Full homes full of people doing the things that you want to do. You need to ask around, and you need to get in the circles that you need to get in, and quit trying to put that freaky activity off on everybody else. Okay. What the little boy say? I'm vanilla baby. That ain't even his song, but yeah. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. Everybody not into that, Lamar. Something I wanted to mention really quick before I got into this date. Is it just me, or does it seem like some of the men are hard up for sex? Like, it almost seems like they haven't had it in a while, and they just keep talking about it. Lamar's not the only one. Lamar just a freak. I think he's probably had sex right before he came on the show. Probably right before the date. But I'm just mean like some of the conversations that happen, they kind of jump physical really quick. I remember during the mixer, a lot of talk and innuendos came up pretty quickly. And then there was a clip from next week between Alexis and Jonathan where I was just like, Jonathan, it didn't look like she wanted to do that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It just seems like they might be horny. But anyway, the dates. Maya, Mika, LaRon, and Jonathan go on a date. It was early on in the date that we find out that, Mika finds out that Jonathan has an ex-wife. Now, Mika is surprised by this, and she's just like, oh, ex-wife, I thought you said... It was kind of seeming like, y'all hadn't been married. Like, this was just like a baby mama situation. And he was like, well, I ain't say that. So it was kind of like, well, I ain't say that it was my baby mama. You said it was my baby mama. And I just kind of went with that. So Mika, she didn't really like that. She wasn't really feeling it. LaRon orders shots immediately so they could get to it. And he talks about how he wants a relationship that's going to be fun and grilling for their kids and the kids' friends when they come over. He just want to have a good time. And Mika was like, I wasn't sure what you wanted. I thought you was just like a party boy. So they have a little bit of banter, but mainly Mika wants to talk to Jonathan because she wants to know, like, why didn't you tell me that you were married? I can see both sides. I can see why Mika felt like he was lying through omission. I can also see why Jonathan doesn't really want to focus on his past. He wants somebody to know him for who he is today. I think we all want that. But the way I have to look at it is like this. Yes, it may seem like somebody's judging you. Yes, it may seem like they're not giving you a chance or an opportunity, because some people will dismiss you early if you tell them you have 2 children by 2 dads or 2 moms, or you've been married 2 times, what have you. Whatever it is, whatever their rubric or qualifications are, they may be quick to dismiss you. That is very true. But when I look at the collective trash bin that is dating, you got to realize that we only have a certain amount of time to sift through the trash. We really don't have time to be picking it up, examining it, trying to figure out if we're going to recycle or reuse it. You got to be able to go through the trash quickly to figure out what you're going to pull out of it, recycle, reuse, and make it work for you. That's how you got to look at it. Okay. A girl said on TikTok the other day, if I would have known that so many people were trash, I wouldn't have wasted as much time as I did trying to make some stuff work, and I just would have sifted through until I found the right person for me. And that's kind of the attitude that you have to have about it. These are questions that you have to ask. These are things that you want to know, and it may not necessarily disqualify you, but that might be something that somebody doesn't want to deal with. It's the same way a betrayal that I feel when somebody doesn't tell me about their kids until later. I don't like that, because why didn't you tell me you had kids before? Why didn't you tell me you had kids by 2 different women before? Like, these are things that I want to know early. Don't make me dig to the bottom of the trash barrel. Go ahead and give me all the trash now, and I will decide if I'm going to recycle and reuse it or not. And you get to do the same thing with me. You know, I've had men that'll find out, I don't know, give me something unfavorable. You know, they might find out something about me that is just not something they want. Maybe not bad for somebody else, but for them, absolutely not. I'm not trying to deal with it. All right, cool. All right. But I did feel like Mika was a little bit too upset for them not to have gone out. You know, y'all just met each other at the mixer. I thought they had been out on a date. They haven't been on a date or anything to where they've had constant conversations. So I don't know. I don't think I would have been that perturbed by it. I just kind of would have had my eye on them like, you left that little tidbit of information out. Why you do that? But I don't know. I don't think he really even is interested in Mika like that anyway. Maya and LaRon. I would think that Maya liked LaRon, but she doesn't give him a lot of eye contact when she talks to him, so I'm a little concerned. But LaRon and Maya both say that they want a power couple. You know, they both doing their thing. They both making money. They can put their money together and they can do all this different stuff. I don't have no problem with either one of them are saying, but sometimes, especially listening to LaRon talk, I don't know so much about Maya. You got to be careful just focusing on the good times of a relationship. There are going to be times where both of you are going to have to be mature enough to go through the hard times and go through the more serious times. And every time I hear LaRon talk about relationships, he's always talking about turning up and having fun. So that part is a little concerning to me. He went from saying that nobody could take Koshia's place to asking Maya, will you marry me? So there's that. Time to head on back to the lounge. Okay, who are we feeling? Patrice still like Lonzo. Rashina likes the new guy, Justin. They got along very well. Mika is still liking Dominique. I don't know if they've been out yet. If they have, they haven't shown it on the show yet. And then I do believe there's some type of connection between Will and Alexis, and maybe William and Alexis as well. And of course, Chaz and Vanessa. All right. Now, who are you not liking, y'all? This is when the show got interesting. So, who's not connecting? Jonathan's name does come up. All right. Because Mika didn't know that he had been married. Lamar got several no's. And Will also got a few no's. Some people felt like his conversation wasn't going well. Some people felt like he was a little too pushy. Patrice, in particular, brings up how he had... Now, the way she was talking, it was almost like he was staying somewhere and he ain't have no furniture. He was sleeping on the floor. But I couldn't figure out if she was saying he had just moved into somewhere or his situation wasn't right. But either way, she was just like, well, what if I wanted to come over there? Well, he had nowhere for her to be. Okay. He was about to make him a pallet. So some of the ladies was looking like, like he don't sound like he got his home life together. So then when Koshia brings up Will and how she had some issues with him and how pushy he was, she also brings up the fact that one of the ladies discussed something in the ladies' lounge that wasn't supposed to be discussed. And who was that lady? Well, that was Alexis. Sounds like you went back and told him some things about that we said in the lounge that were supposed to be private. And Alexis says that, yeah, she did say something to Will because she felt like if there was somewhere he needed to improve, she didn't want to participate in his character being maligned, and he didn't know nothing about it. And so if somebody's sitting over here calling you perverted and saying that they had all these experiences with you, I believe that he deserved to know. And you, on the other hand, you got bad experiences with all the men. So is it the men that's the problem, or do these men just know who to play with? Because I didn't have that experience with Will. Well, child, why she say that? Why she say that? So first she said Kiosha or whatever. She was like, my name is Koshia. Get it right. I said, boy, I know she mad at me because I've been tearing that name up for the past 2 episodes. But this is when it went left. And Koshia made some threats that she would bust her in her face. And then not be saying nothing to her. And how dare she? And she get loud and she get to cussing. And Alexis is trying to speak her piece. And then Koshia just get up and she walk out because she got to go get herself together. Now, Nephew Tyler Perry, y'all know Nephew Tyler Perry. He not good with conflict. He can't never keep the women in line. The same way what Justin was with Riley, the dog, is the same way Nephew Tyler Perry is with the women whenever they get into it on the show. There's nothing that he can do or say. But y'all know we queens, and I want you guys to respect each other. So as queens, we got to realize he did make a good point. Just because you haven't had an experience with a person doesn't mean that another person didn't have that experience with someone. And I really agree with Nephew Tyler Perry on that. And I'm glad he mentioned it because Alexis, baby, just because Will didn't do that with you does not mean that other ladies haven't had an unfavorable experience with him, which a couple of the other ladies, more than a couple actually, are saying they had that. I believe that there are 2 things that are true right now. Number one, Alexis is not giving pick me. Don't boo me, y'all. But it's not giving pick me for me. I do believe there's a range, once you from pick me to she don't play, there's a huge range right in the middle. And Alexis falls somewhere in between there. I believe she may have some, I'm not like other girls in her. Okay. So pick me and I'm not like other girls. Those are 2 different women to me. Alexis is probably very sure of herself and confident and all of those different things. But because she does play sports and she is the type of woman who is into those activities, she may consider herself not to be like other girls and other women. Like she may think to herself, I'm one of them girls that can put it on. I can be the girly girl, but I can also be the homie, lover, friend. We can play ball together. We can talk shit to each other. We can play. I was trying to decide if I wanted to cuss or not. We can play spades. We can do all of this together. I can be one of the guys, or I can also dress it up and be girly girl with you. But I'm not like other girls. I'm different. I understand you a little bit better than they do. So that's more of the energy that Alexis is given. I'm not sure why she felt the need to let Will know that information. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's a terrible thing that she did it. But I can see how some of the other ladies would think like, all right, we can't be talking in front of her because we don't know what she's going to go say. But to her defense, is it going to tell them, like when they're at risk for elimination, is it going to tell them what was discussed in the lounge, like the same type of thing? Isn't that doing the same type of thing? But I don't really know. But 2 things can be true. I do believe that Alexis carries the energy of, see, I'm not like the rest of y'all. See, these men look at me different. These men know I'm a different type of woman. So they can't talk to me like this, and that. She was trying to kind of suggest that Koshia may have led sexually or may have done something sexual. Given the way Koshia has been acting on here, I don't know if I would believe that. I don't know why she would do it with Will and not do it with any of the other guys, but I just don't think it's given that. And I think that was a cop out. And I thought that was ugly of her to say to Koshia. I also thought it was ugly of Koshia to blow up at her and say she looked like a 12-year-old boy. That's why nobody was coming on to her. No, Koshia, absolutely not. You don't get to say things like that. And like I said, two things can be true. Alexis is giving, I'm not like other girls energy. And Koshia, you are giving angry. I told y'all episode 1 she was cosplaying that whole femininity thing. It's not that. It's not giving that. And I knew that early on. And that's why she went back there and got to crying, because I think she was embarrassed because her mask fell off. She didn't mean for somebody to see a little bit of a crazy, but we already saw it, and we probably going to see it again next week. So two things can be true. They both got some problems with them. So anyway, y'all, let's get to the elimination. Now, I know I've been on here talking too much because this review almost longer than the show. Okay, so Alexis meets up with Will, lets him know what the lady said. And I mean, let him know everything. And Will was very perturbed by that. He don't appreciate nobody talking about him, suggesting that he ain't got his home life together. And so all Will sees is vengeance. Did he use the word vengeance, or he was at war or something along them lines? And I'm thinking to myself, well, baby, if you at war, you might as well go home. Now, you can't be coming out here trying to go to war. Now, they said what they said, and either you going to improve or you not going to improve and go home. But I don't know what kind of Will we going to get next week. Oh, and Alexis also lets Will know that she fought for him. Baby, you going out sad. Now, this right here, this is the face of a man who don't give not one iota of a damn. He don't care that he about to get eliminated. I think Lamar already knew he was about to get eliminated. He went out the same way he went in, trying to talk about sex yet again. He even brought up the whole, well, we grown antic that people like to do. I know we all grown. My mama's a grown-ass woman too, and she ain't on TV letting her freak flag fly and trying to give her coochie to anybody who want to have a little bit of it and talking about threesomes. So whether we grown or not, big grown or little grown, this is not the show to be doing all of that. But Lamar let the freaks out there know that he is available, sipped his drink, and began to eat his food, and said he was going to go ahead and eat Koshia's food too after she left, because it was the Last Supper. So that was it. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.